Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda, chapter 3. So we started the chapter yesterday, and the chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya's Deliverance of Sarvabhauma, a revelation of his six-armed form, and journey to West Bengal. So we read that the Lord is now in Jagannath Puri, and uh, he would meet with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, right? Actually, the Lord stayed in Gambhira. Gambhira is very close to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, and even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house is close to the Jagannath temple. So, the Lord tricked Sarvabhauma. That the Lord said, "O saintly Sarvabhauma, I came to Jagannath Puri, of course, to see Lord Jagannath, but the real cause of my coming, the root cause of my coming to Jagannath Puri is to come see you." And then the Lord said that, please tell me, will I ever get the mercy of Jagannath? Will he ever speak to me? You can cut my bonds to this material world. I'm taking shelter of you, right? You can give pure love to Krishna to others. So please, you do whatever is good for me. Tell me what I should do, how I should act, so that I may not fall back again into this repeated cycle of birth and death. Please don't trick me. Teach me how I should, like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya like a subordinate. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also was influenced by the Maya potency of the Lord, and he accepted that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like a subordinate, and then he said, "Yes, you have spoken very well. The type of devotion that you exhibit for Lord Jagannath, it's not ordinary. That means you have special mercy. You have special mercy of the Lord. and you never engage in material activities. And then he said, but why did you take sannyas? He meant to say, at this young age, why did you accept sannyas? And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya began to explain what are the pitfalls of accepting sannyas. So we saw sannyas means, here sannyas means the Ekadanda sannyas, where uh, once a person takes sannyas, then he is addressed as Narayan, Namo Narayanaya. Because their understanding is absolute truth is Brahman, and everyone is actually Brahman. Right now, when Brahman is covered by Maya, then you see so much variety. But when that Maya is lifted, again everything is all just that one Brahman, or you call him Narayan, whatever, like that. Actually, even Narayan, they say that Lord Narayan is Vidyavachinna Chaitanyam. Vidyavachinna Chaitanyam means uh, when you have a body, Lord Narayan himself, right? This is Advaita philosophy. He is also Brahman, we are also Brahman. The Lord's incarnations, they are also Brahman, and we are also Brahman. But the Lord's incarnations are, the bodies are made of good, are made of avidya. Avidya means passion and ignorance. So, but ultimately goodness is also material. So their point is the body of Lord Narayan is also material. So in the ultimate issue, you have to give up everything. Even that Vidya covering has to be removed. And then you all just go and merge into that Brahman, and everything is one. There's no variety there. That is the ultimate destination. This is Advaita philosophy. But when once avidya is removed, and when one gets when one is actually covered by vidya, right? So that's when they, so then they can be addressed as Narayan, because now they are not covered by avidya anymore. They are covered by vidya. This is their philosophy. So they address sannyasis as Namo Narayana, because to start to enter into Jnana path, you have to take sannyas. Without taking sannyas, you cannot enter into Jnana. So when you take sannyas, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is explaining why you took sannyas. Sannyas makes you proud. You take danda and you think that, now you have become Narayan. Now, if anyone is proud, how he can understand the Supreme Lord? Like that, right? Pride is never good. What does Srimad Bhagavatam say? Srimad Bhagavatam says that actually uh, what one should do, right? One should offer dandavat obeisances to all the living entities in any species, whether in a dog body, human body, demigod body, everyone. Why? Because a learned person sees Paramatma next to the Atma in the heart, and is offering dandavat obeisances to every person. This is actually a learned person. This is Bhagavatam's instruction. That's the duty of a Vaishnava, to offer respectful obeisances to everyone. But when one accepts sannyas, he thinks, right, everyone else should bow to me. Everyone should offer big offerings to me. That means accepting sannyas is actually going against the principle of a Vaishnava, of offering obeisances to everyone. Instead, now everyone offers obeisances to you, and then you consider yourself to be the Supreme Lord. So, right from the very beginning, this is calamity. Please note that here we are talking about the Advaita sannyas. So, like this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is explaining, turning away from his duty. What is his duty? He should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he should offer respect to all living entities, because he sees that Supreme Lord in every person. But turning away from his duty, the sannyasi says, I am Narayan. And what is that Narayan? That Narayan, that Supreme Lord, although everyone in this creation, including Lord Brahma and all the other important great personalities, they're all coming from him, right? Great personalities like Brahma, Shiva, they're all creating, annihilating this universe. They are servants of the Supreme Lord. Still, out of his causeless mercy, he teaches every living entity in the womb. He teaches them in the womb of when the living entity is in the womb of the mother in any species, the Lord is speaking, he is teaching that living entity. But this sannyasi, forgetting the position of the Supreme Lord, forgetting his mercy, forgetting his protection, now claims to be the Supreme Lord himself. Just see what an illusion this is. Krishna is everyone's father. This is declared in the Vedas. Krishna himself declares in Bhagavad Gita that he is the father of all living entities. But this sannyasi is claiming himself to be the Supreme Lord. So therefore, what is real sannyas? Real sannyas means one should give up attachment to the fruits of his work, but at the same time he should be working very diligently. Anashritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyah. Not that because I have become a sannyasi, now I have no duties to do, so everyone should worship me because now I am Narayan, I don't have anything else to do. That's not a real sannyasa. Like this, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is explaining to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu why you took sannyas. Like that. Why Sarvabhauma is saying this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, will I ever get the mercy of Jagannath? Will I ever see Jagannath? You help me because you can give Krishna Prema to everyone. So in response to that, Sarvabhauma is saying, of course I see wonderful qualities in you. Your devotion is extraordinary. You cannot see this type of devotion in any person. That means you have received the mercy of Jagannath. But why did you take sannyas? So we'll continue from there. This means, so after saying Anashrita Karma Phalam, quoting from Bhagavad Gita, who is a real sannyasi? This means that a person who, without material desires, worships and serves Lord Krishna is truly called a yogi or a sannyasi. So who can be a real sannyasi? So first of all, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says a sannyasi is he who works very diligently but does not expect anything in return. So what is he working for? Okay, he does not expect any fruit of his work, but then, Krishna says in the third chapter also that or in this verse itself he says, right, not he who lights no fire, right, or performs no duty, he is not a sannyasi. Na niragnir na chakriyaha, one who does not light the fire or does not do any work, he is not a sannyasi. So simply accepting sannyas and not doing anything, any work, that's not a sannyasi. But then what type of work should a sannyasi do? He serves Lord Krishna. He serves Lord Krishna without any material desires. Anyabhilashita shunyam. He is serving Lord Krishna. That means only a devotee of Krishna, a pure devotee of Krishna is a real sannyasi. He is a real yogi. Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. He is the sannyasi and he is the yogi, who without any attachment to the fruits is constantly working. Karyam karma karoti yaha. स सन्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर न चाक्रियः. This is a real devotee. This is a real sannyasi and a real yogi. One who is working but has no attachment to the fruits. And who can be the best yogi, who can be the best sannyasi? A devotee. A person who only accepts food in charity but does not work to please Lord Vishnu is not a true sannyasi. Right? Sannyasi means you don't have a home. So you go begging door to door and you get some food, and with that you survive. Do you call him a sannyasi? A person who only accepts food in charity, but he does not do anything, any work to please the Supreme Lord, is not a true sannyasi. That the Vedas say in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, text 49-50, it is said, Tat karma haritosham yat savidya tanmatiryaya harirdehabhritam atma swayam prakritirishvaraha. Your activities, your only activities, should be those that can please the personality of Godhead. Our education should be such that we can become elevated to Krishna consciousness. Sri Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the super soul and guide of all living entities who have accepted material bodies within this world. He is the supreme controller of all material activities in material nature. Your only activities should be those that can please the Supreme Lord. Our education should be such that we can become elevated to Krishna consciousness. Yes, education is not how to get a big job, education is not how to know current affairs, right? That's not education. Education should be in order to become elevated to the platform of Krishna consciousness. That is education. Activities, when you say karma, activities should not be done for artha, wealth, or kama, for sense gratification, not even for moksha, liberation. Then what should activities be done for? Every single activity should be done only to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and our education should only be meant to raise us to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Sri Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the super soul and guide of all living entities. Krishna says, right? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. He gives the intelligence from within, right? So, he is the super soul. He is the guide of all living entities who have accepted material bodies within this world. He is the supreme controller of all material activities in material nature. The supreme controller of all material activities within material nature. Therefore, I say that true religion, true duty, and true pious deeds are actions performed to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this world. That is the opinion of all who are wise. So, what is real dharma? What is real duty? And what are pious activities? You can say they're all the same. Duty, dharma, punya karma, right? Dharma is what? That the activities which are performed to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is real dharma. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshje ahaitukya apratihata yayatma suprasidati. What's the highest dharma? Highest dharma is that for all human beings, savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshje. By doing that activity, if he develops love for Krishna. And also, what is the perfection of your particular dharma? अतः पुंभिर्द्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्णाश्रम विभागशः स्वनुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम्. Haritoshanam, the pleasure of Hari, the satisfaction of Hari. What is the test that your particular duties are a success? If by your duties, by your dharma, by your activities, again there it is said, varnashrama vibhagashaha. So not man-made duties. Duties means varnashrama duties. Duties of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. First of all, you must do duties which are enjoined in the Vedas, in the scriptures. That is varnashrama duties. And even then, simply doing varnashrama duties is not sufficient. If you simply do varnashrama duties, it's not the perfection. The perfection of your varnashrama duties is when Hari is satisfied by you, by your duties. He is satisfied with you by the performance of that dharma, of that duty. That's the perfection of dharma. That is true dharma. Same thing is said here also, right? All actions performed to please the Supreme Lord in this world are true dharma, true religion. Same thing, what is said in Srimad Bhagavatam is said here in Caitanya Bhagavatam. I say that a person who places his studies, knowledge, and mantras as offerings before Lord Krishna's lotus feet will attain true peace in his heart. Yes. So we study, we learn mantras, we recite mantras. As a Brahmana, for example, if he offers all that at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord for his pleasure, not that with my abilities I will enjoy pratishtha, right? Pratishtha means some fame, some recognition, some adoration. When I have that mentality, then our acharyas say it's like enjoying the yellow stool of a person suffering from jaundice. Pratishtha is like that. Rather, whatever studies you do and whatever knowledge you gain and whatever mantras you chant, if you offer all that at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, you don't take any credit, you don't take any fame or what to speak of profit and adoration. You offer it all to Krishna, you don't claim anything from that. Such a person will attain true peace in his heart. Lord Krishna is the life of everyone, he is everyone's father. A person who does not worship Lord Krishna lives in vain. Okay? So now why we are discussing this? Because a sannyasi from the Advaita school, when he takes sannyas, he thinks that he has become Narayan. However knowledge he has attained, so many mantras he may be reciting, he won't be peaceful because Krishna is the life of everyone. One who does his activities, any activities for the pleasure of Krishna, taking the position of a servant. Taking the position means that is his natural position. Being a servant of Krishna is his natural position. It is only in that position that a person can achieve true peace in his heart. Lord Krishna is everyone's well-wisher. Suhridam sarva bhutanam. Right? The Lord is the life of everyone. He is everyone's father. A person who does not worship Lord Krishna lives in vain. If you say that Shankaracharya's opinion was not like that, okay, now Advaita school means it is Shankaracharya's school. The Advaita philosophy was propounded by. So say that a person who does not worship Lord Krishna, he lives in vain. This is not a true statement. Shankaracharya didn't say that. If they argue like that, then what is the answer to them? If Shankaracharya knew this, if Shankaracharya believed that all our activities must be done for the satisfaction of Lord Krishna, how do we prove that Shankaracharya also believed the same thing? So for that, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says, if you say that Shankaracharya's opinion was not like that, then I will quote words from his own mouth that prove he believed in the importance of devotional service to the Lord. Shankaracharya said, Satyapi bhedapagame nath tavaham namamaki yastvam samudro hi tarangam vachana samudro na tarangaha. O Supreme Lord, even though you and I are not different, both are Brahman, even though you and I are not different, I am your property, but you are not my property. Same thing. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Nityo nityanam. He is also nitya, we are also nitya. Nitya means eternal. But amongst all the eternals, he is the supreme, chief eternal. He is different also. He is same because he is also eternal. We are also eternal. But at the same time, he is different because he is the chief. Chetanas Chetananam. We are all conscious beings. He is also a conscious being. But he is the chief conscious being. So here Shankaracharya is saying that even though you and I are not different, still I am your property, but you are not my property. The wave is the property of the ocean, But the ocean is never the property of the wave. Who's saying this? Shankaracharya is saying this. Shankaracharya, who gave the Advaita philosophy, he is saying this. So it's clear here. Even though the Supreme Lord and his universe are not different, the Lord is the complete, the everything, and all that exists rests within him. Here Shankaracharya says, "O Lord, I am manifested from you, but you are never manifested from me." That's the difference. I am coming from you. Krishna says, "Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate." Everything in the material world, spiritual world is emanating from me. So Sripad Shankaracharya is saying, I am manifested from you, but you are not manifested from me. Where does it say that Krishna says that I am coming from you? No. Shankaracharya is saying, you are not manifested from me. He gives an ordinary example. He says that a wave comes from the ocean, but the ocean never comes from a wave. Such a nice example. He says, "O Lord, this world is yours. You are its father. In this world and in the spiritual world, you are the protector. Whether this material world or spiritual world, you are the supreme father, you are the protector. Anyone who does not worship and serve the Supreme Lord, who protects the world and from whom the world was born, should be shunned." Right? So children, they take birth from the parents. The parents raise them, give them so much love, affection, provide for their maintenance, feed them nicely, educate them, and after all that, if the children, after taking all the benefits from the parents, if they reject, will you glorify such children? And if they say, "What did you do for me? You never did anything for me." Are they good children? Such children should be shunned. They should be shunned. They should be condemned as ungrateful. Same thing with the living entities. Anyone, because we are all coming from the Supreme Lord and we are being protected by the Supreme Lord at every step. This whole material manifestation as well as the spiritual world, they are protected by the Lord and everything is emanating from Him. So anyone who does not worship such a Lord, who does not serve such a Lord, should be shunned. This is the meaning of Shankaracharya's words. Without understanding that truth, what is the use of shaving one's head? So you accept sannyas and you call yourself Narayan. What is the use? If you don't understand your position as a servant of the Supreme Lord, simply shaving your head and thinking that now you are Narayan, what is the benefit of such a sannyas? With great love and devotion, a sannyasi should chant Narayan at every moment. That is the real duty of a sannyasi, right? Sannyas should be where the body, mind, and words are now fully dedicated to the service of the Supreme Lord. That is real sannyas. With great love and devotion, a sannyasi should chant Narayan at every moment. If a person not understanding the true meaning of Shankaracharya's words turns from devotional service and then shaves his head, right? He's already doing devotional service, now he stops. And then he shaves his head, becomes a sannyasi, and he thinks, now I have become that Lord. He attains only suffering. He only attains suffering. Therefore, I ask you, Sarvabhauma is asking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, therefore I ask you, why have you entered on this path? If by serving Lord Krishna with love and devotion one becomes delivered from this world, what more will one attain by shaving his sikha? What else do you want to achieve by taking sannyas? If you simply render devotional service, then you don't need to take sannyas. What does one achieve by shaving his sikha? All that is required is rendering service with love and devotion. If you say that Madhavendra Puri and other fortunate souls accepted sannyas and shaved off their sikhas, then I reply by asking, how is this the proper time for you to accept sannyas? Okay, so you write, Ashramedam Gavalambam Dev Sannyasa Palapaitrikam Devarena Sutotpatti. These five Panchame Kalir Varjayat. So basically it says that These 5 sacrifices are forbidden in Kali Yuga. What are the 5? Ashwamedham Gavalambam. Ashwamedham means horse sacrifice, Gavalambam means cow sacrifice. Then Sannyasam Falapaitrikam. Sannyasam means accepting sannyas. Falapaitrikam means offering meat to the forefathers in Shraddha. And Devarena Sutotpatti, begetting children in your brother's wife. So these 5 types of sacrifices or karmas are forbidden in Kali Yuga. So that's why Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying, well, if you say Madhavendra Puri is a pure devotee, he also took sannyas, so what is wrong in taking sannyas? Then I will say, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying, then I will say, how is this the right time to take sannyas? Right? How is this the right time? Of course, also that's one thing, Kali Yuga is there. Of course, Madhavendra Puri also appeared in Kali Yuga, but in the earlier part. But yeah, about the age of Mahaprabhu, right? He's a young person. How is this the right time to take sannyas? That's the point. At this age, not about in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, yes, that point is there. But here, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's point is, how is this the proper time for you? For you. You're just 24 years old, in the prime of your youth. How is this the right time to accept sannyas? Only after 3/4 of their lives have passed and they have already tasted whatever nectar lies in material things do the great souls accept sannyas. So that's why in the Vedic society there is brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. After brahmacharya, grihastha and vanaprastha, after you have gone through these stages, you have seen what happiness is there and what is the meaning of that happiness, how everything is futile, then you accept sannyas, then there's no question of going back because of some curiosity. I wonder what it is like to be a grihastha or this and that, to have your own house and to be working. You don't have all that because you go through all that, right? And you do your responsibilities, raise a family, get your daughters married and all that. And then you go to Vanaprastha, you observe severe austerities. Then you take sannyas. Then you will be stable in sannyas. So only after 3/4 of their lives have passed and they have already tasted whatever nectar lies in material things, do the great souls accept sannyas. You are still young. How are you qualified for sannyas? How will you attain the spiritual goal of life? By accepting sannyas. How can you attain the spiritual goal of life by accepting sannyas? The devotion already present in your body is a rare mercy. Even the kings of the yogis and many others cannot attain. Why have you become so mad that you accepted sannyas? You already have bhakti, and that's the highest thing. If you have bhakti, giving that up, why you have to take sannyas? That's the point. The devotion already present in your body is a rare mercy that even great kings of yogis, that means big yogis, they cannot attain what you have, that type of bhakti. Then why did you become so mad that you accepted sannyas? Hearing Sarvabhauma's description of devotional service, Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Narayan himself, became very happy. Lord Chaitanya said, Saintly Sarvabhauma, please listen. Please know that I am not really a sannyasi. Tormented by separation from Lord Krishna, I cut off my sikha and left my home. Please don't think of me as a sannyasi. Give me your mercy so I may always think of Lord Krishna. In this way, the Supreme Lord bewildered his servant. If the Lord places his Maya potency before him, how can a devotee understand the truth? If the Lord does not reveal himself, who has the power to understand him? So, in this way, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was bewildered by the Lord's words, right? The Lord is saying, please understand that I'm actually not a sannyasi. I just shaved my sikha. Being separated from the Lord, I wanted to come. So I just shaved my sikha. But actually, I'm not a sannyasi. You instruct me, you guide me, like that. So we'll stop there. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.